What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So this isn't a video that I thought I'd be making anytime soon, but when I recently visited Letchworth Motor auctions to have a browse at what classic cars were going through their auction, I was tempted. But unfortunately, I couldn't attend the auction on the day. So I sent my dad up with a GoPro, and my mum decided to get a bidding card because I had set them a challenge to buy me this classic car that I'd spotted.
Starting at £500, 900, 900, down to £900, at 9 bits on the right at £900, you're out on 950, give it first, sorry, 950, £1,000, ladies, money, 1,050 on here, 1,050 down, 11 bid, 1,100, at 1,100, 1150, 1150, 1,200 pound, 1,200 pound, a bid of 1,200 pound, at 1,200 pound bid, 1,250, 1,300, 13 bid, 1,300 pound with 13 bid, low mileage car this, 1,350, 1,400, 14 bits in the room of 1,400 pound done, at 1,450, 1,500, putting it on sale in the room of 1,500 pound, hands up. 1,500 pound bid, 1,550, 1,550, 1,600, 16 bid, 1,600, 1,650, 1,650, thank you, 1,650 online, hammers up at 1,650, anyone else coming in, 1,650 bid, selling it away, all done at 1,650, 17, 17, change of heart, 1,700 pound, at 17 bid, you're out online this time, 17 in the room once, twice, last chance is 1,700.
Anyway, we've just come up to collect it and I'll show you guys around it. So here is the auction purchase that I got my parents to bid on, this Mk3 Fiesta bonus. Now from the off it just looks like a normal Mk3 Fiesta, but this had just one owner up until 2022 and then it changed hands, pretty much one owner from new car. Anyway, let's get the car out and then we can have a proper look around it. So here I am in the Mk3 Fiesta. I've just sat in Dad's camper van whilst I was taxing and insuring it. Now, I've been dripped on a couple of times already by the sunroof, so yes, we'll try not to cry about that too much, but there is a bonus. Whoever entered the Mk3 Fiesta into auction left me with over half a tank of fuel. It's definitely worth the money now. So, Mk3 Fiesta, I bet you're all wondering, when I purchased this? Well, funny enough, them clips you've just seen were recorded nearly 2 months ago. I purchased the Mk3 Fiesta, I drove it home, I parked it on my driveway, and it's just been sat here for nearly 2 months. So, I think it's about time I showed you guys around it, but there's one little stumbling block in my way. I went to start it this morning, and it's not starting. So it is quite a crisp November morning. This does have a choke, but it's just not starting. Anyway, I'm going to stop that before I drain down the battery, and I'm going to pop the bonnet and tell you guys what I plan to do to try and fix the Mk3 Fiesta so I can show you guys around it. I've just popped the bonnet, and the other day I did check for spark. Now we do have a spark, but one thing I did notice is the spark plugs are really horrible and they don't look like they've been changed in years. So I've ordered myself 4 spark plugs and I'm just about to change all of them now. Right, so I've got all 4 of the spark plugs out. As we can see, 3 of the tops actually snapped off whilst I was undoing them. I think they're just really old and brittle. Now, they're all in pretty nasty condition. They're all black on the ends and haven't been changed for a long time. You can see even on the ceramic bit, all starting to go. Not very nice at all. Anyway, I've got my new spark plugs here, brand new Mk3 ones, so just going to whip them in and then fingers crossed it will start. Happy days. Oh, struggling a little bit because it's cold, but it just started up straight on the button, whereas before it was da 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 da. Or maybe not. So it looks like it's not going to be the quick fix that I was hoping for. It fires into life now, but it just runs so lumpy. Sounds like it's on 3 cylinders. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take the spark plugs out one by one to see if they're each sparking. And then at least we know we've got all 4 sparking before we start delving elsewhere. Right, so I've just whacked out all of the spark plugs individually and they've all got spark. Right, I've just nipped out to get some fuel. Now, this come with half a tank. It's now got about a quarter of a tank left, and if they've been filling it up with the rubbish stuff, the E10, and it's got a lower octane rating, the engine might not be liking it. So I thought, best bet, might as well just go out, get 10 quid's worth of E5 fuel, which has got a higher octane level. I'm going to dump it in now, see if it makes any difference. It doesn't really matter if it doesn't. I just wanted to get some premium fuel in there anyway. Is this part where I'm meant to spill it all? Right, so we finally had a little bit of a breakthrough in this little dilemma. So I filled it up with some new fuel and I've given it a little bit of easy start just to give it that bit extra support when starting, and it now starts. There we go, running like a dream now, very happy. Anyway, let's get this bonnet down, go for a drive, and I'll show you around the Mk3 Fiesta. Right, I've just done about 20 miles in the Mk3 Fiesta and it hasn't skipped a beat. Really happy with that. I've also just topped up the petrol with a bit more E5 petrol. So yeah, let's look around this auction buy. As you might be able to hear, it's just ticking over now. So this is my 1990 Mk3 Ford Fiesta bonus. Now these Mk3 Fiestas were made from 1989 up until 1995, but they remained on sale until early 1997. So these were made in the 3-door variant hatchback and also the Fiesta vans, but also something that wasn't available for the Mark 1 and Mark 2 Fiesta is Ford produced this in a 5-door model as well. Within the first 2 years of the launch of the Mk3 Fiesta, there had been over 1 million sold. Now the Fiesta model overall has been labelled Britain's most popular car by many over the years, and they only just recently stopped selling it this year, with over 20 million produced and sold worldwide. Well, I'm just going to show you guys around the engine bay and then I will show you the bodywork and the rest of the car. So there were many variants of engines you could get in these Mk3 Fiestas. You could get a CVH or a Z-Tech, but mine is the Valencia HCS, which stands for High Compression Swirl. Now basically this is the 2nd generation Valencia engine, and just to clear up what Valencia is, it's basically a Ford Kent engine, but when Ford fitted them to front wheel drives, they had to adapt it slightly. So that is why it's called a Valencia and not a Kent engine. My engine is the 999cc Valencia HCS. It's the lowest capacity you can get. It's capable of a mega 45 brake horsepower and the top speed is 86 miles per hour. And the best upgrade for the 2nd generation Valencia engine, for me personally, is the carburetor. So that's not a unreliable Ford variable Venturi, a VV carb anymore. That is fitted with a Weber carb. I thought it'd be interesting just to share them few facts about the engine. Now, as for the engine bay, it is really, really clean. I haven't spotted one bit of rust on it yet. Well, actually, I tell a lie. The battery tray is slightly scabby just down there, but it's all surface. It's completely solid, just needs a lick of paint really. But yeah, just look at the rest. It's lovely, even under the scuttle. It's very nice and presentable. Moving on, let's do a little tour of the outside of the Mk3 Fiesta. Now this is a bonus model, but it has these two front spotlights. I'm not too sure if they came as part of the bonus package or whether they would have been a added extra. As we move on to the near side of the vehicle, it is just so clean. I don't think there's any rust on this at all. When I looked at it at auction, I was just so shocked. I had to go back and have another look at it. It was stunning, hence the reason I actually sent my parents up to go and bid on it for me. Now, one thing you may spot is the sort of differences on this handle and the lock. So basically, all of this white residue is just old polish. Someone's obviously quickly machine polished this before it went into auction. There's loads of little white bits of polish everywhere. But when we purchased this, my dad went over it quickly with a magic eraser, and yeah, that just wipes straight off. So I'll be doing that when I come to detail the Mk3 Fiesta. As we make our way around the car, I'm just about to show the sticker that I absolutely love. So this is a original dealer sticker, ECP Motors Limited, and they are from Turners Hill, Cheshunt, Hearts. Very, very local car to me, considering it was sold at Letchworth Motor auctions. And an even bigger bonus is it still comes with its original dealer plates. How cool is that? Here's just a quick nosy in the boot. It's all in great condition. The carpet's got a bit of a stain on it, but I'm sure I can vax that out. And there is the boot floor, nice and solid, no rust coming through. Along the offside, it's just exactly the same story, so clean. Just look at these arches, there isn't a speck of rust on them. I was so surprised, and I don't even think they've been replaced, because there's no lip of filler or anything. It's, yeah, a very tidy motor indeed. Now, the only thing I would say that's slightly letting it down really is the fact that it's got no hubcaps. Now this brings me on to another little story. So basically, I found an advert for this online, and I think it's for about £3 or something like that. Now, it had the original Ford hubcaps on it, but since then they've been removed, and when I purchased it at auction there was only a couple of hubcaps on it, but they weren't Ford genuine ones. Anyway, let's take a look inside. So overall condition is fairly good. I mean, these seats are really bad for the cloth to sort of come off away from the foam. I'm definitely gonna have to sort of neaten them up and address that. But yeah, this is the interior. It's only covered 54,000 miles. That is warranted. So this is a genuinely low mileage car. It's also got MOT, valid MOT until September 2024. So all the way till next year. As you can see, that's the rear seats as well. They're just all in the same sort of fabric material. Now, I might as well address the elephant in the room. It's got a aftermarket sunroof. Now, this was leaking when I purchased it, and it still does leak. I've had a cover over the car whilst it's been sat up. Now, this is something I'm definitely going to address. I'm going to take the whole frame of the sunroof out, and I'll reseal it all, do it all properly. Might even get the new rubber seal. Hopefully, I can source one of them. So that was just a brief walk around. I'm going to show you guys what I got when I purchased the car from auction. As for the paperwork side, because sometimes you can get very limited paperwork with an auction. Now, what I managed to get was loads of old MOTs. These are just loads of the old MOTs, and it's really good looking through them. It looks like a fairly clean car. Now, if you just look at the mileage, it just doesn't go up. 2019 done 53, 2020 done 54, 2022 it done 54, and it's just done in 2023 54 again. So yeah, this is such a low mileage car, and the MOT history warrants it. Also, with the sale, I got 2 genuine Ford keys which are in this little wallet, and I also got a aftermarket key with ECP Motors Limited Cheshunt Wolverhampton Cross keyring on it. I bet there's not many of them left. Now, also, just to add to the nostalgia or originality, I got a main dealer ECP Motors book pack, and in here I've just opened up the service book, which has only got 7 stamps in it. So yeah, it goes up to 11,000 miles. Not a lot, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. It's still cool that I've got this. Now, this is where I get a bit confused again about the car's history. So we know it had one owner up to 2022, and then I've got a invoice in here for a MOT up in a garage in Lincolnshire. So yeah, it must have been sold to people at Lincolnshire. Maybe a trader purchased it. Then it come back down here, and it was privately advertised, I think in Nebworth, and then I found it in the auction. So yeah, I think a few people have sort of passed this about. But I think if you're a trader, obviously it doesn't go down as a previous keeper. So, but yeah, it's mine now, and I'm really happy with it. Anyway, let's take the Mk3 for a little road test, and I'll talk a bit more about the auction day and how much my parents bid. So, as I previously mentioned, I wasn't able to attend the auction on the day, so I sent my mum and dad up with the money. Anyway, I give them a limit, and I said, I want to pay £1,400 for that. I'd give £1,400, maybe £1,500 tops. The Fiesta comes up, and you've all watched the auction footage at the start of this video, and they get bidding away, and it sort of calms down a bit at £1,200, £1,300, but then it keeps picking up and they keep getting outbids. Anyway, I think they were determined to win it, and they went slightly over budget, but you know what, I'm so happy they did, because this is such a great car. For a two-door Mk3 Fiesta, they're just going up in value at the moment. There's no other car I'd like more than a Mk3 Fiesta two-door, and for this one to be such a local car and also with a low mileage, I'm glad they bid up to £1,700. Now, when you buy a car from auction, you have to pay fees on top of the hammer price. So my parents bid £1,700. The fees were £127.50p, and the VAT on the fees was £25.50p. And that brings us to a total of £1,853. So that is all in, all the fees paid, and yeah, we took it home for that money. Overall, not too bad. At least it's under the £2,000 mark. I think if it ended up being over £2,000, I would have kind of been like regretting it slightly, but I'm happy with that figure because I know the price of these are only going up. Just moving on to the final point. I know all of you loyal supporters and subscribers are going to be screaming at the screen at the moment saying, why have you bought a Mk3 Fiesta? You've got a Mk2 Escort to crack on with. And I know, I'm cracking on with a Mk2 Escort behind the scenes, and I'm just doing some monotonous tasks on it at the moment. Now, when this come up, I didn't plan to buy it, but for the reasons I've stated, I ended up bidding for it and buying it. I am happy with the purchase, and my original idea was to sell my Mk4 Fiesta van, and then I can daily drive this Mk3 Fiesta. But after some long consideration, I've come to the conclusion that I don't want to daily drive this Mk3 Fiesta. Number one, it's only got 3 gears, and number two, it's such a low mileage car, it's almost a showpiece. It shouldn't be daily driven. And also, number three, I don't want to sell my Mk4 Fiesta van. That's a great van. So that kind of puts me in limbo now. I don't know what to do with a Mk3 Fiesta. As I say, it's been sat on my driveway for 2 months. I just don't know. I don't know what to do with it. I'm just going to keep it in storage for the moment. I've got some dry storage for it, and yeah, we'll see what it's saying when summer comes around. Maybe I'll get it out, fix the sunroof, do the couple of jobs that I want to do to it, put some hubcaps on it, and yeah, just drive it around maybe. So maybe it'd be like a little summer sort of daily thing. But let me know, guys, let me know what you think I should do with it. I've got too many cars now, honestly, just get too tempted. So that is my latest auction purchase. Please do let me know in the comment section below what you think of it. I know it needs a little bit of TLC with a sunroof and a couple other bits, but I generally think it's such a clean motor, and I'm so glad I own it. But anyway, that's about all we've got time for in this week's video. If you did enjoy the video, please give it a like, and if you like what you see, subscribe to the channel to see more. Thank you all for watching, and until the next one, I'll see you guys later.